So, hello everyone, welcome to another Seal Deck event. This time, once again with Frank Karsten.
Hi everyone.
And we have opened this seal pool. And I'm not really sure how Frank does seal pools, but you're familiar with my method, so I suggest it can be that Frank do most of the work right now.
Okay. Well, I guess what I would do in this format is to first sort all the cards by, I guess by guilds mostly. It's probably a bit difficult to lay all of it out here in the Magic Online screen, but well, I guess first of all let's try to take a look at the best cards, the cards that draw you to a certain color. If you start on the left with white, you see a bunch of okay cards and the rest, which is definitely a good one. And maybe you can even draw the rest into the deck to just highlight the cards that are most important. Then in blue, also a bunch of okay cards. I guess the two Frilled Oculus or something to keep in mind. Solid cards, but only if you can actually activate it. Void Builder is also a good one. Yeah, you can also draw that to the deck below, just to give an overview. Then if you move to black, yeah, also a bunch of okay cards. Nothing too special. Fatal Fumes is the removal spell, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit overcosted for what it does. It gives -2 toughness.
I think it's pretty expensive for 4 mana.
And in red, I guess Punch the Enemy and Double Belt Maka are both solid cards.
But they're not something that would draw you into red like Void Builder or rest.
No, I think they're on the same par as Void Builder.
You say Roll Build Maka is the same quality as Void Builder?
Yeah.
I've always considered, I think it's a good card, it's a very solid card, but it's not something that I would play red for, while I would consider splashing in my Void Builder, so the deck allowed me to.
Yeah, it's not something I would heavily splash for, but it's something like that. It's has some solid cards. In green, let's see, Crashing Mossdog, that's a good one. Regarding Decoy, that's decent. Well, Beast Monster could be good in certain decks, sometimes unplayable in other decks, but usually fine. Yeah, a bunch of fine cards. I guess the Crashing Mossdog might be the best one of the bunch. But then onto the gold cards, and that's usually where the sweet things lie in this format. I don't even know the first one. Gleam is better?
I think it's too expensive to be really worth the 6 mana. But I've seen it.
Seems playable, but expensive for what it does. Yeah. So
if you have a lot of creatures and it really works well as a finisher. If you're lacking the late game bombs to finish a game, Gleam of Battle will do that for you. But it's actually too expensive to rely on to getting it into play in a timely fashion and having it do its thing.
But now to the good cards. Tajik, that seems good. You can draw that to the bottom, and then it's you cannot really put the gold cards in between the colors. Here you can do that if you lay things out
can do it like this,
like a table, but yeah, sure. Let's see, just Dani Summoner, 7 mana thing.
That's the one with all the tokens.
Pretty good, but 7 mana is a lot, but for 7 drop it's really good. Wolf Rider, that's just a big guy, nothing too special. Assault Sword, playable. Just Authority, fine. What's that, Sphinx? Yeah, that seems good.
It's I've found
Draw
it
that
to be very
to the
easy.
bottom. Teza, Envoy of Ghost. Yeah, that one is pretty ridiculous, but
Yeah.
better second drop, so better than pit fight, fine. You could put the pit fight together with the green and the red cards.
I'll put it with the green cards because they usually lend themselves a bit better for pit
Yep.
fighting.
Makes sense. You can do War Chant. That's also a very solid card. Two Druids in. Frostbone Weird also pretty solid. Then you get to Morg Burst, which is fine, that's 6 mana, so don't come too many 6 mana cards in your deck. 5 Speed of Zagana, a bit difficult on the mana, but very good. If we end up Simic, it's a solid one. Same for Draken Crazes. No, you didn't. No?
Put it there. Time speeder go.
Yeah. See, Draken Crazes is also good. Out of Leaping, also fine, 6 mana. Dead Scrolls Rogue, which is always playable. Sure. Then we have a couple of key runes and clue stones that might be helpful. What are the split cards?
This is down and dirty.
Yeah, both halves are overcosted. Doesn't it's probably playable. Can get some value if you're on both those colors, but nothing too exciting.
This is a light
that's pretty good if you're in both colors. The white part alone is a bit weak, but if you can get both, that can win you bunch races with the nice one. I guess the most important part of the pool lies in the lands, because as you can see now you have good cards in all over the place in many colors. Black seems to be the color with the least amount of excellent cards, but apart from that it's pretty spread out. So then it's important to see what kind of fixes you have, and the fixes that you do have would lean you towards Simic and Blue, at least the guild gates, which are the best ones. And we also have an Izzet Bluestone that could go with that. So if you look at the mana fixing, then the green red blue deck would be the best. And obviously have solid cards in that. You would lose some of the white cards. However, you have an Azorius Bluestone and also Key Rune, but it might be hard to build a white deck. I mean, you could consider building something like white, blue, red, but then you don't really have good mana fixing. You might have 2 Bluestones and end up with an awkward mana base. And I mean the white and blue cards are fine certainly, but the same also holds for the green, the red and the blue. So looking at the mana, I would be inclined to go for blue and Simic. So we try it out just to see how it looks.
There's a Verdant Haven here, that's some additional fixing, so maybe we should be in as well. And I agree with you about the color indication. I also think that Daisa might be the biggest trap that this pool has to offer, because as I just survey the cards, I don't think that you can match up white with black and have enough solid cards, and I don't think there's a third color that really goes well with both the white and black cards. There's almost no Ors of Guild to speak of, and all the other black guilds are almost absent. These 2 cards are just fine. This might as well be a blue card, and there are no Rakdos cards to speak of, so I think that black should really be considered only if we already have a solid plan and just to fiddle around with it, if we have the time to see if we can make it work. But let's try out the green-blue red deck and see where it goes. So I'll just put these cards back. Let's put these with the red cards. If we consider red, then we can take them right out.
Well, we're definitely playing red, just not white. Or at least in the builds that we're...
Yeah, if we decide to, for example, drop blue for white, then we get
sure.
these cards. So basically the cards that I would perhaps consider are cards like this. I don't know if Madcap skills will be any good in there.
Yeah, just put in put in everything and see how it looks. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have like 30 cards there.
Yeah, you can
So
always I just put in everything.
Yeah.
Cards. I'll put in the gatekeeper as well. I don't think we're going to play those without selection of gates. A couple of blue cards that are interesting. I don't think that things like Spell Rupture really work in steel deck. I think they might be playable in draft, but even there they're underpowered, so I'll leave it out. But if you want
It
to,
seems more playable than a Dino Charge, honestly, but I'm pretty sure it will not end up in the deck. It is situational.
If you end up playing 16, 17 creatures, then Dino Charge might actually be the card that does a lot of things, while Spell Rupture usually does next to nothing.
Excited by the Dino Charge.
What do you think of Stonefire Crocodile without black?
Playable if you need guys. Preferably not.
Then we got Traveler's Souls, blue card.
Just want to cast though. But sure.
And then we'll basically end up with these spells. I think unless you see spells that you would like to include as well. I think these would be the spells that you would be considering.
Yeah, unexpected results is too unexpected. I guess the Hill Giant split card, the green white one, will still be playable, even if you can only cast the green side.
Just as a former 3/3 centaur type.
So this looks okay. I would can I already cut a couple cards?
Yeah, we have 31 cards right now.
Okay, out with Dino Charge.
Yeah, I'll put it for mana.
Yeah, out with Doorkeeper. This seems to be relatively aggressive decks. Probably out with the Verdant Haven, seems like we have a lot to vent into. We already have a Bluestone. Out with probably Vassal Soul and Death Growth Broke, because they're double blue, so difficult to cast. Whereas you want lots of green and blue mana to be able to cast your green and red mana to be able to cast your green and red 2-drops like Surta Druid. Otherwise the mana base won't work. The Gatekeepers will probably be playable, both of them, because you could just run all 4 Guild Gates, playing the Hunter's Guild Gate just as a red source. That seems fine. Yeah, maybe the Alive Well is the worst of the 3 drops that you have here. So probably still got it. Let's see, Paralyzing Grasp can go for them third. It's not that it's particularly bad, but if you're an aggressive deck, you want cards that can take out your opponent's blockers, and Paralyzing Grasp is only good if you're on defense. I guess Walt Beastmaster with Madcap skills is too good to pass up. Also with stuff like Reward Chant, some Scavenge should be okay. I guess we have a lot of 2-drops that can really hurt, and maybe Bombard Corpse is not good enough.
I found that it really went down in value since Gatecrash. In Gatecrash you had the really dedicated Boros decks, or even some of the more aggressive rule decks that could just go 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4 and activate Bomber Corps. In this format it just doesn't happen all that often that you have the same dedicated curve, because you're already in 3 colors and you're pretty much all over the place. And there are a lot less creatures that are likely to be afraid of Bomber Corps. There are still a lot of X1 creatures, but if you get to turn off Reckless Fat on turn 4 with your Bomber Corps, that isn't such a big deal. It will already have dealt its 4 damage, and it's just a little bit less valuable than it was in Gatecrash. So I think it would be a good card to cast.
probably the stone fair crocodile. That one might even be worse than Bombercore.
Well, it still is 3 power for 3 mana, which is a bit better than the stats of the bomber court. And it
You have enough
ultimately
creatures such that you can trigger Battalion quite consistently, and Bombercore is essentially 2 power.
yeah, it's
Yeah, at least I don't think Stonefish Crocodile is good enough. I guess this is 23 cards, which
Yeah.
is okay.
the only concern I would have with this deck is that the mana base is all over the place.
Sure, that's why let's just build the mana base right now based on this, on the current deck. And then based on what problems that we might see with the mana base, we can always change around a few cards. Either way, I think this build looks fine. We could try some other possible builds, of course, perhaps with the white, but I think there the mana might even be worse, given that you just don't have the lands to fix them.
Yeah.
So let's see, how could we build a mana base of this? How? I mean, currently this is a deck where I would like to have 8 green sources, 8 blue sources, and yeah, preferably 8 red sources as well. So that's a little tricky. Yeah, the mana is not great, that's for sure. Then again, I think 17 lands, especially with a Zurka Druid and a Bluestone, is sufficient. We don't want more than that, also because the curve is quite low. What you could do is possibly cut some of the red, because I'm pretty sure you still want to be able to cast Prime Speed with Sagana, so you have enough green and blue. What you could do is cut some of the red cards to make the mana a bit nicer, and possibly cut the Bombercore and add Stone Crocodile, and you can play possibly a Mountain Blast or something. So let's see, how if we make the mana base, we have 2 minutes left, so we should probably hurry up.
We already have 3 green sources and 3 blue sources and 3 red sources right here when discounting the mountain.
Okay, let's start by adding 5 forest, 5 island, and 4 mountain. And then we have to cut one of them. Okay, mana is far from ideal.
So bad in selecting just 5 cards. This is not really a good idea. So it's like this one.
I would consider cutting mountain and then actually swapping around some of the red cards, such as the gatekeeper with an enlivened well, something like that. But I really think you would like to stick to 5 islands and 5 forests.
So swap this for the different 4 drop
Yeah.
and then swap out the mountain.
No, swap out the guild gate.
The build gate for another force.
No, because then you have
Just,
14 left.
Okay, so just keep it like this
Yes.
and be even on these 2 colors, have a little bit less red for the other cards.
Yeah, the Zurka Druid is not ideal in the current setup. Still, I think it is good enough. Oh, is there something else you can play instead? You could cut it and play the Paralyzing Grasp after all.
It could be done. The Paralyzing Grasp will allow us to take out maybe a flower on a black hole creature or a late game rare that we can't handle.
20
because,
seconds.
we don't have a lot of removal to
Sure.
help us get through it. We can always board it out against a deck that doesn't have a lot of removal as well, where it can be a legitimate deck damage turn later. But it's never a problem to just have the medial 1 damage turn. And
It wasn't a lot of time to build a seal. Like obviously we were just discussing some some things on commenting, but still, um, building a deck in this format is not easy, especially when you try to make 3-color decks with shaky mana bases.
It's 20 minutes is the standard for building a draft deck in good top 8s and things like that. So it really is a lot less time.
I think you have more time than that at like a Grand Prix tournament.
Yeah, I think at Grand Prix you get 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I'm not really sure. I think it also differs between Grand Prix, but I'm not sure about that either. But yeah,
Sure.
you get a lot more time, and especially since this is a complicated format with a lot of cards. A few differences between how I treat a pool. I usually just filter through the cards and take out everything that I will probably not play, and then get a good view of which of my colors have quality and which of my colors have mass, and then make a blend of that and work with that. So.
But let's play a match before we run out of time here as well.
Well, we won the die roll. I think with this deck we want to play.
Yeah.
There are a lot of decks in this format in which I really do like getting draw, simply because your mana base is in so much trouble that you need to get draw.
Speaking of mana base.
Yes, these are the hands that we're getting. We are running 8 blue sources.
Yes.
So there is a high enough chance that we are going to draw blue source in the upcoming turns, but it's no guarantee, and we have 3 dead cards. If we don't draw that, Frostman Weird is very good at keeping the fort on its own if we don't get backup, but still it's a bit of gamble. So
I'm leaning towards a mulligan, also because you don't have any of the best cards in your deck. You just have a bunch of mediocre blue cards, rather than the blue bombs, which make. Yeah, I mean, I would just mulligan here.
If we were on the draw, I would probably have
Better.
kept it, but on the play, I think it's
Yeah, that makes
it's a
sense.
bit too weak. This has all of the colors, so that's obviously a bit better. There isn't a whole lot of curve, so we need to hope that the Wild Beast Master gives us some payoff. If one of the Scavenge creatures comes around that have some nightmare skills.
Our opponent probably went to do something else, given that we were, from his perspective, thinking about a mulligan for 2 minutes. Yeah. No, I mean with hands like the previous one, it is pretty close when you're just missing a color, but you can do something with your mana early on. It's just that with the previous hand, if you ended up drawing an island in time, which is already by no means guaranteed, yeah, you have a bunch of okay cards, but it is still easy to get overwhelmed by better cards from the opponent. And we do have lots of stuff like the Crown Speaker, Zagana, with this that green enchantment that seems pretty good in our deck. The stuff that can usually win the game that we didn't have in the second card opening.
Yeah, it's cards like Field Oculus actually only are good because when you land them on turn 2, they are going to be huge game breakers.
And we can
would you like to make it 5 cards? No. I always have to read this after in one of my last videos accidentally mulligan the hand. It was perfectly fine. So he went down to 6 as well. He's deciding whether he wants to go down to 5 or stay on 6. And here we go. So I think it's perfectly fine to come up with a single cake. Unless you had another idea for that.
No. I can't think of any reason not to play the Guild Gate here.
What do you think about trying to hide your colors in a format like this?
You mean like playing an island next turn as opposed to a mountain?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter too much. I mean, I don't think it really matters what you play here. In some way he knows that you have access to that, which can give him some information. On the other hand, he might now start thinking about that removal spells, play around Electricity or something, So there are advantages and disadvantages. I think you usually do want to play your colors quickly, so you don't get wrecked by mind vault or like similar discard spell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there can be advantages to not revealing colors, especially if your opponent knows that you have a certain card. I guess you will be a free block.
Well, that's a consideration to make. We can trade the Beastmaster for the Sweat Freak. I think it would be a fair deal if he had showed us a Swamp. But at this point with the Forest, we still don't know if he is the really aggressive Reckless deck that he might have gotten in a Lucky Pool. That he is just displaying a Sweat Freak as a random guy in his 3-color deck. And if he doesn't have the blazing support that he could have from the Reckless, like having a Hell Flailor after this, probably going to do so much damage to us with his hand. But if he's now just going to play Towering Inbricks and stuff, then we really need that Wild Beastmaster to pull through.
Sure, you can take the damage, especially since your 4 drops kind of blank the 2-1.
Yeah. That's also a consideration that our next turn will probably see something that can hold back the Shark Freak and whatever 3-drop he's playing. And the Wild Beastmaster really does have some value. He even doesn't have a pressure follow-up in Boros Bluestone. And if he does proves to be a slow Boros deck, then we're better off having the Wild Beastmaster than not. Now the real question is, now do we play the Maka or do we play the Gatekeeper? I think the Maka is a bit better because when it starts counter-attacking it will have 3 power instead of 2 from the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper also has a Silent Whisper of a bit more payoff if you throw one of the 2 other gates. On the downside, the Maka is a combat trick while the Gatekeeper is just the Gatekeeper. And especially a combat trick with the Beastmaster can make everything really fat. It's a +4/+4 bonus on attacking. So if we chain up 2 or 3 more creatures, then we can actually end very, very fast on the Maka and Beastmaster.
So I'm inclining towards just playing the Maka, but it's pretty close. If you didn't have any guild gates in your deck, I would have probably just played the Gatekeeper here. Small probability of drawing a guild gate anywhere in the next couple of turns. This will break the time for me. To return to a question earlier about like not revealing your colors, keeping certain lands back, it can certainly help if, for example, your opponent saw a Supreme Verdict in the previous turn. Which is the attack with just the Maka, I guess, and then play the Gatekeeper after that. But yeah, if your opponent saw something like a Supreme Verdict and you do have 2 planes and an island already, then keeping back the second planes can certainly help, because then your opponent just might think you might have the Supreme Verdict in hand but not the mana to cast it, and then overextend. Stuff like that can help. But, usually playing the right lands doesn't matter all that much.
It's the power flash. I think we'll have to sacrifice the Beastmaster.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you already had something to make it work with, like Thresher Mustard, then we consider sacrificing that. But I think both the Maka and the Gatekeepers too are more valuable than the Beastmaster at this point. He has only 2 cards in hand. He's showing 4 colors right now, so we don't really know which side he's going. He's going to eat Bluestone right now.
He just plays less than
yeah. So I think this deck will be all over the place, which makes Sweat Freak even less of a threat.
But I thought he was just playing Venom Shred Freaks because of the hybrid mana in his 5-color deck, but now it seems 5-color aggro with the Chain Walker. An interesting deck for sure. Anyway, I would just deck with both guys.
If he wants to do a block, then he trades both of his creatures for ours. He gets the Draco on the backspace, that's okay. No, he trades them both. I think it doesn't matter which one we kill. They're perfectly equal. I think Sweat Freak might get another bonus if he has Civic Save or something like that, since we don't have all the
kill the Sweat Freak first. If he has like a card that can put counters on the Gorgon's Chain Walker, for example with Scavenge, then it becomes worse.
Then it would stop being able to block, yeah. here comes
What kind of deck is this?
Welcome to the wonderful world of the release sealed decks.
Okay.
The players aren't great. There are occasionally some very decent players around, but there are some players that make decks like this.
Just play the Prime Speaker.
Played before combat?
Yeah, before he kills your Sapphire Drake with some card that says target attacking creature gets 4 damage. Just go with it. But yeah, he has 1 card left in hand. I would be very surprised if we lose this game.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you look at the opponent's deck, he has 3 2-drops in black and red. That would seem to be the start of an excellent aggressive Rakdos deck. But then he tops it off with Guild Gate and Verdant Haven. That he's not ramping in anything at all. It seems like a strange build.
Yes, I think that he could have a deck with still all of the end game that we're expecting from a deck with Clue Stones and Verdant Havens. And then he just dropped in the early game because he thought he was scared of being overrun by an aggressive deck. It could also be that this player just had not even the faintest clue of how his mana base is working and just thought, oh, if I just play all these aggressive creatures, they will deal damage and they will be good. Not realizing that playing Goddess Scope means you're also committing on playing 8 or 9 black sources to have him there on turn 2.
So do you have any good cycle cards? Actually the Bomble Corp might be okay. Well, actually it will only kill the Doctor.
Even against him. I think that the Smelt Ward Gatekeepers might be valuable because they have high toughness against his semi-aggressive openings. All the removal we have seen was Devour Flesh, so this is not bad against that. It's 4 life on return. I think it might be a bit better than something like Stonefair Crocodile, which is just going to trade one of his 2-drops, like the Goddess Skulk or the Spread Free.
Yeah, but then the mana base won't work anymore.
Well, I don't think that.
But sure, but
is,
still, the Stonefair Crocodile seems very weak against what we've seen so far. So fair enough. He's probably going to be on the play, so we have more time to feed the ball the red source. Sure, make the swap. But then you should also add the Raptors Guild Gate. Yeah. And put them up.
I think that his deck is going to be totally wrecked by Fault Atmosis as well. All these high toughness creatures will definitely be a problem for him.
That's good. Well, we do have all our mana.
Yeah. We're on the draw, and this is a hand that can counter some action from his side.
I think it's a keep. But you're not very happy with it.
No, if his deck was a serious threat in the early game, if he had worked out his mana base and he did have just a 2-color focus to put pressure on, I think this might actually be a bit weak against him. But knowing that he's probably going to have dead draws like Goddess Skulk or Sweat Freaks in turn 7 or 8, I think this hand is perfectly fine. At least we won't be screwing ourselves.
I mean, the Drudge Beetle effectively access 2 spells, given that you already have lots of land, because you can pretty certain to use the scavenge at some point.
Yeah.
So this looks like a hand that will very likely be able to use most of its mana in the upcoming turns. I'm assuming that you draw some spell along the way. That's it. He's pausing our upkeep.
Yeah.
Are there any that instance that he could even play here? No, right?
No. Yeah, the only it's even. I don't think there even are any that it's even play here. Even the cards like Trickery and Dino Charge need a target to be cast. So that reminds me of a game where I had Extort out and I had Street Spasm, and I was just about to kill him on the Extort trigger as soon as I could cast Street Spasm, but he didn't have any creatures that flying. So the moment he played it, I played Street Spasm for X and 0 and extorted him to death. He called me Slow Roller. He didn't realize. If I could overload it, I could have cast it for no target. But since I only had 1 red mana, I was just stuck on playing Street Spasm as soon as he had a creature. I couldn't target one of my own creatures, I couldn't target his flyers, so I was just stuck.
Savage Slowballs.
Here's the only card now that we can't cast with these 5 lands.
I'm still happy to draw it.
Yeah, it gives us a bit of perspective, a bit of endgame to...
the probability of drawing at least 1 blue source anywhere in the next 5 turns is Well, I can give you the exact probability, but it's pretty high.
I think I actually made a mistake playing forest. I should have played the mountain on island.
Yes.
If we had drawn
Yeah,
Frost
false
Moon,
grid.
we could have cast it in the second round. Which would have
Yeah,
been a bit better.
I also wasn't paying attention, but these are indeed the things that you should always take care of. Also before actually playing the first round of a tournament, always check which 2 drops you actually have in your deck, such that you can make these turn 1 land decisions correctly.
Second island, so that's turning out alright. I think we'll just want to attack. We could hold it back if we're expecting hasted creatures from this side, but
And then what you're going to do, play a bunch of chef fleet and attack us for 2.
it's a good deal.
It's not like we lose anything then.
And right now we've drawn 2 spells, which are pretty good spells to have drawn in this hand, so we're definitely still in great shape. He's also once more lacking his black mana, so we're free of the Gabascope type of cards.
Oh no!
And then even if he does start to draw black swords right now, things like Gabascope will be hopelessly dated for this game.
Yeah.
So this is already looking good.
Yeah, I'm curious what this deck will present this game. Yes, most of his mana. He has 3 colors right now. You would expect he would be able to cast something.
He didn't even use his white mana last game, so he might be just splashing someone like Trostani Summoner or a good rare of his white sources. As soon as he had access to his second white, he immediately ate his clue stone. So I think white might be just a splash crawler that he's playing a Yen build for his main deck, but that he miscalculated the number of black swords that he would need. Once more, he was holding his stuff in his own upkeep, so. And he has a surplus one. I think that's something that deserves paralyzing grasp.
The safe one.
Let's play the gate. Now we have the choice of putting the grasp on right now or after it has hit us for 5. If he plays right now, then we have the mana open next turn to play the Void Wheeler if we want to, with the downside that the swine won't be tapped, so he might hold it back as a blocker.
Yeah, he certainly will, and I don't think it's worth casting it right now. Not this fast.
So this will take the tempo loss of having to cast the grasp next turn, simply to just get rid of the swine and not have it available to him.
Yes, otherwise he will just have a 5/4 blocker available the entire game, and he will almost certainly be able to block our relevant creatures. Then that's I mean we're at 20. We can take the hit in tempo.
I think it might have been different if we had a lot of flyers on the deck, and the swine would be irrelevant on the bottom side. But since we don't do that, we have the Sapphire Drake, and I think that's our only flyer.
Yeah, we have a Blake in places too.
Here comes the 5 for Striker on turn 5.
That's so good.
And we start for Crocodile.
Sure. Yeah, I think we're just going to grasp this swine on the next turn. But an alternative play might be to just play the Void Healer on the next turn, bounce the swine, but that's also not exactly the situation you want to be in. And now that one of the creatures is already tapped, it's fine timing to get rid of it. And we have a bit to block any of our guys. We can stabilize with the Void Wielder on the next turn. Looks fine.
And even so, if we send the swine back with the Void Builder, we are setting ourselves up for an impossible block because he'll be happy to block this creature. And the Void Builder might actually do some dirty buying us a turn if we manage to keep him off his battalion, or just to keep the striker off the board for a turn. So we can actually make the blocks if we want to do.
Good. Obviously, we would like to get some value out of Point Speaker Zagana. But currently with our rich Beetle and Void Builder, we only draw 1 or 2 cards of it. What you could plan for is blocking Ghana with the Dutch Beetle, then playing the Void Wielder on the next turn, thereafter beef it up with Scavenge, and then draw 3 cards with the Point Speaker Zagana as a 3-power Void Wielder. That might be a decent long plan.
And I don't think that we are in a hurry in this game. He has 2 cards left. He's going to draw them from his turn because he still has enough keep step for some reason. And he
This guy
doesn't,
likes his upkeep.
yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of pressure on here. Here comes Greenside Watcher.
Another 2-drop.
With the East Bluestone again.
That's interesting. First play a guy, then sacrifice the Bluestone. That seems to be a strange sequence.
The question is, does he want to attack? Yes, he's even given us a good deal on the crocodile.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he was hoping to accomplish with this attack. Well, anyway, I think we're here. I just played a. Well, do we even play it? Yeah, do we?
I think we should. I mean, if he lands a search freak in this board, then we'll be taking 6 and then won't be able to block next turn as well.
Against the.
I think the green side Watcher.
Yeah.
Because if he plays a gate, he still has 6 mana. The striker does nothing.
Sure. And this guy, it doesn't really matter too much actually.
If he
Given that he didn't play any big spells in the last turn.
But he might have drawn his big spells because he did draw 2 new cards.
But yeah, as for his Stonefire Crocodile attack on the last turn, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense when you have a battalion creature in play. You want to preserve all the creatures you can to be able to at least get some battalion triggers off. Whereas you wreck the board with a scavenge guy, which is better in the graveyard than on the battlefield. Well, not better per se, but it's certainly using it. If he had not attacked with a Stonefire Crocodile, he would have been in probably a better position, it seems.
Yeah. And even if he was trying to just get rid of the beetle, it would have been better to just send the striker as well. See if I would trade in the beetle for striker and deal with 3 damage on the rest of 12.
Note that he didn't play a land, but he does have 4 cards in hand.
Yeah.
It would be an indication that he is stuck with a bunch of black cards or something. Because if he had any other bigger creature or combat spell or something, he would probably use. I think you can. This scavenge here, there's not really a point in playing Spine Speaker right now. You've got the Void Wielder. Maybe he has a removal spell for it, and then.
We could consider this turn playing the Clueston and Yuckless. Next turn beating Yuckless.
You can see that.
Well, you were still discussing when we were in our team. And then we can pump this Splitter Power Speaker and have a 5-power creature and draw 5 cards on.
That might even be better. Yeah, I like the play. It's also much more resilient against any removal spell that we might have. So we don't have to go all in on a big Void Wheeler. Yeah, seems better. Should we still sacrifice the Bluestone at the next turn? Probably, right?
We can. We have enough mana to do all the tricks we want to do. And I think we'll be good for lands this game. So even if we eat up the Bluestone, we still have 8 mana first available. We'll probably draw a couple more from Fine Speaker once it gets stable. So yeah, I think we could just eat Bluestone. The only reason why we wouldn't want to do so is if we want to keep the mana open to save our Oculus from some harm. But right now it's just making a 4/4 dork that won't be able to push through the Oculus. He does have battalion enough for a striker, but if he decides the Oculus can block, then the Void Wheel will kill the striker and be done with that. We'll just eat this for him.
And the Slime Molding might be a card that he had in hand last turn. He just didn't want to play yet. So it's likely another bad card in the previous turn.
Now we have 2 options. We can go for the plan we discussed by using the Dwarf Beetle on the Oculus, having 2 mana open to make him a 5/7 to block. Probably won't be able to from Striker, and the Void Wheeler will be able to kill it. But if he does have a trick and he kills Void Wheeler, we won't be able to block next turn as well. We could use the Explosive Impact to take his tempo down by shooting Use, or perhaps even the Striker. It will give us a bit more time if we are afraid of running out of life because of his attack squad. He does have a lot of cards, one of them might be a trick, so I don't think the Void Wheeler will actually be able to kill the Striker. You could also just play the Prime Speaker now as a 4/4, just pump this as 3/5, play this 4/4, drop 3 cards and have 3 blockers. that's also an option. It's a little less value, but perhaps 3 cards are enough against him.
I guess I'm really leaning towards doing the prime speaker in play, just making it 3-3 and drawing only 3 cards then, right?
It'll be 4-4, you draw 3 cards.
Oh, for 4 then. Yeah, that's not good enough. I don't really want to spend my mana going all in on the touch beetle here. This is also mana efficient and will allow us to do something good in that turn.
But we should also keep in mind that this format is really packed with active trees and light cards. So waiting to catch another bigger prime speaker that still has a striker, it's just begging for us to get active trees and Lord Trick with instinct, and just losing the game on the spot. We do have to watch out if we block with the Oculus this turn because we can't pump it. So his Ooze will probably get a free trip to our life total.
If only we could put that on the blade.
Yeah. Well, he showed that he had at least 2 gates, so I think it's not unreasonable to expect he has more of them.
It's a nice combo for the having a queenside watcher to land into, I don't know exactly what, but then a big slime molding, for example.
Yeah, it's a big slime molding, or it's even the turn 4 circle swine, which is a pretty good play. And we have stab wound, this means that he is not going to attack us this turn. Yeah, and he's hoping that the stab wound will win the game for him probably. Well, we get some gem here. Now we have a whole lot of options.
Do we have a good way to get rid of our own void healer?
Well, we just drew for his enemy.
Kill it true, but something like another void healer or something. Like what's do we have a deck list somewhere?
No, I don't think we have access to the deck list right now. And I don't think, off the top of my head, we don't have an answer to our own creature.
Sure. So, well, I guess one reasonable game plan might be to go on the offense, start attacking, adding guys to the board, trying to win before the staff unit kills us, which together with like the 8 points of burn in our hand should be possible. What you could do is let's see. At the same time, we don't want to succumb to his counter attack right away. I'm thinking about like either playing explosive impact on the ooze and then attacking with both the first Oculus and prime speaker, and pumping that will deal 7 damage. He has no good blocks and he also cannot really attack because he doesn't have Battalion and we happily jump at our void wielder. Alternatively, like you can attack with if you don't kill the 4/4 ooze, you cannot really attack with prime speaker and frilled Oculus. You would lose him and then fall behind in the damage base. You could also use the much beetle, scavenge and say frilled Oculus and then start attacking. But if you do that, he probably doesn't block and then swings back for a ton of damage. So I'm thinking about this explosive impact on the ooze play, pumping the Oculus, and then on the next turn you will actually have access to 10 mana, which is good enough to scavenge beetles and something and some other stuff.
Yeah. The only other option to consider is not attacking at all. Just playing the gatekeepers you have guarded and then the moss dog if it's a dead. And just have more creatures to attack with once his board is open. However, he does present us with an opportunity where he's tapped out. He can play his black tricks, which he is going to play right now, so a lot of black cards going to come our way, is my guessing. So I think it would be best to just take this out and attack.
I mean, like attacking with just the prime speaker, and then playing most dog and gatekeeper is also a fine play.
It would mean he will break the prime speaker for the use.
We don't do any damage this turn. We still have the explosive impact in hand, and actually, both plays seem fine.
I think that the play with the impact on use and then attacking with both creatures, it leaves us open to one of the freezing effects. And he might just snatch the Prime Speaker, attack, it deals a whole lot of damage, and then we won't win the race against the staff. And then we need to use punch the enemy on our own point to get out. So just playing creatures gives us a bit more security.
Okay. But then just attack with the Prime Speaker.
Just attacking with the Prime Speaker, trading for the ooze,
Yeah.
then developing a board seems like a really good plan.
Okay.
And you might even consider not blocking, just to get just taking damage because he has a lot of life as well, and to get a good swing back, and then you have just a lot of creatures that comes out. You could even consider playing only one of these two guys and having 5 mana out when the enemy takes one striker. So that would mean that he can't attack at all because the fight will be this way.
Sure, but I don't think the 5 striker is that big of a problem when we have 4 blockers that probably profitably trade with it. We might need to punish the enemy in the end to kill our own void wielder if it comes to that.
Or perhaps a flying creature from the side. I can think of a ton of creatures that you can play off his Boros side would be a major problem for that.
I guess we were thinking for quite a while on that turn.
Yeah, he gives you this warning after 3 minutes.
Oh.
With a nice startling sound. So to wake you up if you fell asleep during the game.
Does it happen? Does it happen to you?
No. The only thing it succeeded in was scaring me enough to take an accidental mulligan in my last video.
Okay. That's been a tough decision.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever intentionally or like unintentionally timed out just on clockwise or just on no action wise. Even when the timer goes down to like 5 minutes or so, I can speed up my play incredibly fast. And, we're only being slow because we're discussing things, we're talking about things. He is probably not doing that, and is about as slow as we are. So we're still playing at a reasonable pace. We're 1-0 ahead, so we probably won't have to play third game because we would say that we're going to win this.
I mean, he was sacrificing some animals to some kind of deity to be able to cast 2 drops in every upkeep, I think. Or at least doing something else in every upkeep that keep time.
And even so, we could stop overanalyzing everything and just play the game. And if we don't discuss it between each other, we'll increase the speed as well. So I don't think we'll actually time out.
Sure. I mean, especially with like situations like these where you have so many options, many of them are actually fine. It's pretty close to determine which is the optimal play. Yeah. These are also situations where you cannot take too much time also in tournaments.
Yeah, but these are also situations that are going to matter. I mean, if we had made the wrong play here, if we went for explosive impact, just attack with both creatures, deal him damage, and he would have had a Traitorous Instinct and swung back for us for 10 damage, we probably would have lost this game.
I didn't want
So we'll just play the Gatekeeper.
Yes.
And then we'll see if we draw. Yes, we see if we get Alliance.
That's pretty good.
So we'll play the Gate in the Moss Dark and keep it like that.
Or was there any point in block routes too late?
No, what we could have done was keeping mana open for the... Well, we could have played the Punished Enemy instead of the Moss Dark and have the Moss Dark next turn with mana for explosive impact because we can't cast both these spells next turn. And we could have kept mana open for Kill Dark.
Sure, but currently there isn't a great target for the Punished Enemy.
No, there isn't. And he paralyzed himself with Stab Wound. He could attack, but it would mean that he would lose the Stab Wound.
Well, likely he will lose his 5th striker if he attacks.
This is a good creature. He has a lot of haste creatures, and he can't use them. Also, if he doesn't unleash her, she will be a good target for Prince Jenny. She gets first strike for massive things, but he does unleash her, so she can block. But she doesn't burn me in the slightest. Here's Wild Beastmaster, something to scavenge the George people on. I think we can actually win this next turn. If we just play a Beastmaster, keep mana open for one of the 2 burn spells, see how he reacts, burn one of his creatures, then use the speak to all about Beastmaster and attack it from next turn.
Yeah, I think he still has a like a move spell in hand. Or well, like spell. But yeah, that's still fine. I think you can.
Attack with Prime Speaker again this turn?
I guess if you didn't block last turn, I don't think you will block this turn. Yeah, has a bunch of. Yeah, you don't want to say explosive impact is 4/4 and a swing with like a fill up the refreshing Mossword as well here, because you get a lot of damage on the impact swing. Plus there is the Wild Beastmaster coming in.
Yeah, as long as we still have the option of winning on the Beastmaster, I think that's a pretty good plan. Especially since we still have the 8 damage we can send to his head. The moment we use explosive impact as creature removal, we lose the range that it provides for us. And especially since he doesn't know he is at 8, he's going to probably allow a bit more damage. So he'll block differently from his Beastmaster, as long as we still have the burn spells in hand.
And we're hoping he doesn't block with the ooze, but we would prefer to keep our 4/4 in play when the Wild Beastmaster is going down next turn. But didn't block last turn, so yeah.
He's blocking right now.
Yeah.
So it's straight. And then we just play the Beastmaster and pass the turn. We could have scavenged right now, but if he does have to remove a spell, then we'll have to virtually scavenge as
we
well.
also want to keep some of the mana open in case he, I don't know, has some big blood rush card or whatever.
So if he doesn't do anything this turn, do we play Punish the Enemy on one of his blockers, then swing with everything in our turn? Or do we have another plan?
Maybe even or Void Wheel. Well, not sure.
The Void Wheel will also be a 2-power creature when attacking.
Yeah.
So we can't take out one of the blockers, we can block 2 creatures. These 2 will be the biggest. These 2 will be the biggest. So he'll be taking 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 2 is 10 damage. We already took 3 from his enemy, so he'll be dead with plus impact if he doesn't have anything.
But we cannot scavenge and play explosive impact on the next turn.
Oh no, we only
we can explosive impact him right now this turn. Why not? Go for it. Not sure if this is the right play.
It will force him to block. As long as he's blocking, he's not attacking back. And well, he does have a lot of creatures with haste right now because Excava gives every on his creature haste. If you get to scavenge something, but he doesn't have that yet. So we might consider just keeping one creature back to block the Excava from the Void Wheel. 9. We have Cool War Chat, and I think this might actually be a good game for us.
Yeah, we do have to be a bit careful here in the sense that and maybe you can start by just scavenging your Dutch Beetle just to see if he responds with any removal, and you can plan accordingly. What removal is there in the set? There's Punish the Enemy, there's the
all of his mana.
The black -4/-2, but if he has that, he'll probably use it right now.
And he has August Spree, he has Ultimate He could have Ultimate Price Launch Party. Stannis Judgment is in there. There is so many removal spells, especially since he has all access to all columns. He could even have cards like Far and Away, the Far Part, and just bounce to Beastmaster. Things like that. He could basically play downsides with.
Yeah, we should just be careful not to like if we play the Cool War Chant and then try to attack with everything and he has some kind of tricks, then he might even die. I still think playing the Cool War Chant and going to combat is the right play here.
then
if push comes to shove, we can always respond to the step within our upbeat, which punish the enemy if we go down to 3.
yeah,
So who knows? Just attack with everything.
with everything.
Yeah.
You can block one creature with the war chant. So this is lethal. If he does have a trick, he still takes a whole lot of damage, but we probably down the next one. Or there is a good chance that we down the next one. Because you
Well,
will.
not necessarily.
Well, you
Like
will
he
at
would,
least.
he can have a trick and
Mhm.
double block a guy, then he survives. Actually, he might also survive.
Wait, the war chant gives another
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
one
yeah.
power.
Yeah, plus
So yeah,
2 with
then it's a plus 2 for the beastmaster. So yeah, then it's an insane amount of extra damage.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, he could jump block with 2 guys, but then he wouldn't have enough power on the board to immediately kill us. And,
yeah.
it paid off. Nice.
Okay, well, there's one match still going, so I'll just shut this video down for us so we can have some room to breathe. And we'll see you guys in match 2 of this release draft. So, welcome to our second game, the second match actually. We won the die roll again, so we get to choose, and just like last time, we're just going to pick to play. And this is the hand we're getting. We're lacking red mana, but we do have Binoculars, Gavin turn 2, and a Hill Giant on turn 4. So I think this is keepable.
Seems good enough. We only have 5 or 6 red sources in the deck.
Well, we could check, because right now, we got a screenshot of our deck
Yeah,
list.
6. 6 is fine.
Oh, we have 6 red sources, and yeah, that's fine.
Good enough.
Okay, so we're waiting with the opponents.
Actually, can you go back to the screenshot?
Yeah.
While we're waiting anyway. Because you just noticed that the Vassal Soul and the Death Cult of Rogue are in the sideboard. Initially we put it there because they were double blue and we figured we would be heavy green and red given the Zurta, Druid and so on. But actually we have 8 blue sources which might make the Vassal Soul and Death Cult Rogue playable. It might actually be better than say the Stone Fair Crocodile. But sometimes you won't have double blue and you won't be able to cast it, but the Death Gold Rogue is just a much better card than the Stone Fair Crocodile that you cannot activate.
Yeah.
That might be something to keep in mind when sideboarding. You might even consider like taking out the Zurtra Druid and putting in the Vassal Soul or Death Gold Rogue.
Well, I'm just checking this list because we made a screenshot of the video, but I don't think Circle Druid is in our deck right now.
Is it?
Well, I think we decided to cut it
yeah,
to get
right.
easier on the red mana base.
Yeah, and we put in Paralyzing Blast.
Yeah, so
That's
we have
it.
Paralyzing Blast
Yeah.
instead. Yeah. But I think it would be better to indeed have Death Gold Rogue over either of those 2 cards because it's
Maybe.
basically an unblockable creature.
It's pretty close though, like a double blue casting cost versus a single casting cost Bruce card. It's always a trade-off that you have to make. It's like the double blue card is probably better on the draw than on the play because on the draw you have an extra draw step to get the required second blue mana. But we'll also see if the opponent has a bunch of Hill Giants, then the 3-2 Crocodile is pretty good. If the opponent would have lots of say, sort difference and Vassal Soul would become better. We'll just if our opponent ever comes back.
Yep. Well, it's a side effect of playing these drafts. There are 8 matches going on, and people who finish it already are probably going to do something else in the meantime, and it'll take some time to get back. I really only rarely play against players that actually time out. Most of them just get back into it, and just a few minutes late.
Yeah, I might also be double Q.
Yeah, it's possible. I myself, I try to be on time even if I do something else, I try to just be here when the 25-minute mark starts running. Just because I hate waiting, and I hate to let other people wait because I do so.
There we go.
Well, here he is, and we come out with the guild gate.
Excellent.
Yeah, if we don't come out with the guild gate, we can't play the next turn. So. besides being very obvious, it's only the best option. So here's our mountain. So that makes our colors complete. Okay, skyjack. That's a good enough answer to the Atlas. It now gives us the option of trying to go in and race, which will cost us mana, or we can just hold him back to try and block the skyjack, which will give him more value out of anything which he might have in these colors.
I'm inclined to just go on the offense.
Let's attack him.
And effectively trade 3 for 3, and indeed by keeping back the failed Oculus, you only open yourself up to a removal or a bounce or detain or something like that where you wouldn't have gotten any value out of it. Now obviously we will get punished and he has something like paralyzing grasp, but that's always how it goes.
But in that case we can still use the Oculus to get a pit fight off. So he doesn't retain creatures, so if we hadn't attacked he would have taken full damage.
Besides, our hand seems pretty aggressive. With another creature coming down on the next turn and punish the enemy in pit fight, we would prefer to be on the offense.
So you want to play alive right now?
Yes. I'm not sure yet what we want to do when he attacks in the next turn with the side check. I'm not sure he wants to attack here. He might want to get another guy and then align the battalion. But if he does attack, what are we doing? So
Well, there's
I'm leaning towards just taking it.
yeah. Especially with white mana open, there's a whole host of tricks that's available for him. Which something like Swift Strike or Aerial Maneuver that will just take out Centaur with no loss of Skyjack. He has the Slumber, he will probably sacrifice to your Resto. What are we going to sacrifice? I think Centaur.
Sure. We do want to get the value out of the pit fight. Currently our center actually played against the slum grouping and against Jack, whereas the Oculus with a pump could survive fight. We can probably manage to manage the pump team. Okay, I sacrifice the center.
I think also that the Centaur being a token is a bit of a liability against his blue mana. If he has Void Builder or Shard away, you can just kill the token. I don't think not afraid to see Beastmaster. That's good.
Oh, the hell. But do we actually want to do that right now? Okay, so this is what we could do is attack with Oculus. We will probably take it.
Then fight with somebody. Pump fight.
Yeah, we can either like pump fight, or we can pump play the Beastmaster, take a bunch of damage, which doesn't seem too appealing. Could also pass the turn, keeping the Oculus open, and then if he does something, or at the end of his turn, just fight them.
Or you surprise the enemy then, depending on the situation.
Yeah. I think I like that actually, just keeping everything back, keeping options open. Because attacking and playing the Beastmaster doesn't seem like a great plan when you just take too much damage.
I also think that cards like the Matrix Lost involved Beastmaster are a bit fragile against a deck that has blue and black mana. He's probably he has access to a whole lot of removal spells and bounce tricks that can easily host any of these two cards. So I really would much rather rely on the Oculus to keep it safe than having any progressive plans with these cards. Just very disruptive. He does seems to be missing some lands. He's still stuck on 4. This copper gold mage.
Which is not terribly exciting if you don't have plans to activate it.
He isn't doing anything. He's keeping 2 mana open.
If you punish the Slum Beaker here.
He's punishing him on the Slum Reaper.
Yeah, obviously him.
Yes, but yes, Deputy of Quickness.
Oh,
They'll take care of creature next turn when he has. He still gets 3 damage from punishing enemies, so it's not completely wasted.
yeah, I wasn't thinking about that guy.
Well, you can't play the Wild Beastmaster right now, so we have to sacrifice to his Slum Reaper. We could also just slap the Madcap skills on the Oculus first and attack him for 6 damage. We'll see if we can pull through on just the Oculus. I think it's
and then you have to sacrifice it to the Slum Beaker?
No, we
that doesn't
can
seem like
play
a
the
plan.
Beastmaster after. Play the Madcap skills and then go in for 4 and then
Right.
play the Beastmaster. But that's a race that we probably won't win, especially not if he just gives this
Then
lifelink and attacks.
Yeah, then you are trading like what, 4 damage for 7?
Yeah. So it's a bad deal for him.
yeah, that doesn't seem exciting.
So we'll just
Oh,
play the
just-
Beastmaster?
Yeah, just play Beastmaster guys.
I'll put the item down.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, this doesn't seem that good for us suddenly. We punish the enemy, didn't work out. Really not.
Let's see what he chooses to sacrifice his deputy. So he's not attacking this turn. So that's good news for us. Speaker.
Yeah, I guess we play the Madcap skills this turn. Hope to use for a big fight. And then basically once we play the Madcap skills on the field Oculus, we're kind of all in on the Oculus surviving, which is certainly possible. Given that, like we could attack for 6, and then at the end of our turn, pit fight with one of his guys. Seems like the best plan actually.
So there is the option that we blocks with Slum Reaper and the Dying Skyjack. We just trade the Oculus for his creatures, but then we can still pit fight with the Guild Mage and clear our board and his board. So, but that won't work as well with Frank Speaker, but at least we won't be savaged by this blocking. Actually, you could block the Slum Reaper and the Guild Mage as well, or just the Skyjack and the Guild Mage, but in every situation we can just pit fight
I would
with
be
that.
surprised if he does that. And he opens himself up to, I don't know, Slaughterhorn or anything like that. Okay, so pump. Yeah, probably just fight with the biggest guy, the Slum Reaper afterwards.
Slum Reaper.
I mean, the Guild Mage has nice abilities, but he is bottlenecked on mana, so it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, and if he decides to waste a turn to give this creature lifelink, then he's going to get savaged by our Sprite Speaker.
Yeah.
Which will just come in, draw us 4 cards, and be a 5/5 creature and block. There's also the
But
chance
yeah, we
that,
do need this Oculus to survive,
Yeah.
otherwise.
even if he attacks and gives lifelink, then I think we...
I mean, I don't think he's going to do that. He has 5 cards in hand,
Yeah.
some of which he will, I'm sure he will be able to cast. Just hope it's not removal or bounce. Something. suspense.
It's
Okay.
definitely low.
Acceptable.
Yep. Top is at 9, and that means that this isn't a lethal amount of damage next turn, so he needs a trick to do that. So he can just attack and play the prime speaker, draw a whole lot of cards from the blocker. Even if he does have an answer for the prime speaker, he's not lethal. And
just play the prime speaker first, just to see what we play.
he still has to worry about the fact that the Filled Oculus is a lethal threat right now.
Yeah, especially with this first with Kendall. Well, the you're not of the okay. We're winning this game. Let's think about the ways we can lose this game. Just
Well,
attack,
we can lose by not
philosophy.
attacking because it's 2 creatures that we can block for 5 damage.
Sure.
So the only one we can block is the Guild Mage, and we already have the prime speaker for that.
Yeah.
And even if he removes it, he's going to spend some amount to remove it, and he won't be able to. I think that there are cards we can lose to still, but we don't have any mana or actually anything to do against it. Those are cards like Shadow Slice. Things like that are just going to make us lose on the spot.
Yeah, no, the attack is completely right. I just like to
You think it's real?
to think too much.
Travel Soul, that's pretty good news. Because that means that he will probably die his first one. Let's see if he wants to attack with something. He needs to keep 3 creatures back for blocker, so he could attack with 1. But he's not doing so because if we have removal then he loses anyway. So he's just deciding that we don't have to remove him.
Just play. No, well, not yet.
Okay, just attack, see how he blocks.
Yeah, well, there's no point in defeating the explosive impact at this point. The Major will be able to win without revealing it. He has very awkward blocks here. He will lose pretty much all of his guys, it seems.
He's side pick tokens. We can. Well, it's no use in public. It will still die. He'll get 5 toughness, he'll get 5 damage.
Okay.
And it's still killing both creatures.
Okay.
You could use the Maka to save it though.
No, don't use the Maka.
You can play Beetle instead of mana for the impact.
Yeah, seems fine.
You can refill the Beetle.
Yeah. At this point, it's not really trying to slowball the opponent, it's just trying to give away, don't give away any information, try to gain as much information as possible.
So just take turn.
Yep. For example, now we know that he has Evoke, so we don't want to abort in our own attack with Evoke.
Yeah. He probably will be playing some of his gates.
Yeah.
For Steel Breaker.
So yeah, just attack with
We'll probably trade the Prime Speaker for a Deal Breaker. Put him on 2. Probably block just with block.
yeah.
Or do you prefer to kill the Deal Breaker?
No, not really. It's okay. Go.
Just say go? We could play one of the, like Crocodile or the Mustang. That means that he does have to play another card, so he has to reveal more information to
Yeah,
us.
then, well, if you do that and he has Sim Collector, I would probably still win, but I would just pass it.
So not giving him the opportunity to lock himself out of our exhaustion. And still be able to win the game. And we have Meertens and Trail Darkness, which is an awkward card for this deck, so I'm guessing he's
Sure,
less active
impact him.
just impact him for,
We waited long enough, and I mean, if we want to win this game in another way, we would have to reveal many other cards, and we don't want to wait too long. Otherwise, it will just get countered. Once he has mana
we might actually get in time problem as well.
Yeah.
We can board out Stonefair Crocodile for the Vessel Soul.
Yes, this is fine.
It does seem to have some flying creatures that we might be able to hold off with. And that seems about the only thing I would want. We might opt on boarding the Doorkeeper if you want to take the slow route and see if we can control him out, but I think our decks are about equally like that.
Yeah.
There are some cards like Madcap Skills.
Well, actually, you should take out the Paralyzing Grasp because he has the white blue, like bounty guy 2/2.
And he also has a Slum Reaper to get rid of
Yes,
this.
yes. So put in, well, maybe just the Stonefair Crocodile after all.
Again. I'm thinking maybe we want to Druid against him. It can deal the last few damages if it does get into a stalemate between just creatures.
Sure.
Cards like Madcap Skills and Wild Beast Master may be a bit unreliable against this trick lane in Esper colors. So I'll just put him in. And then I prefer to take out the Madcap Skills because it's not a creature. Seeing how he probably has a couple of bounce cards, he has Sphinx of Slum Reapers with the Golem on just one creature, he'll get bonus out of it. Can still be a blowout card, but I think it's a little bit worse than Wild Beast Master.
Sure, I guess. We didn't see many removal though, right?
No, we
Did we see any removal
we
actually?
saw the Slum Reaper.
Yeah.
Well, I don't general that. I think we can keep this. His deck seemed fairly aggressive. He had a lot of 2-reps in his 3 colors. And he did seem like to have a focused, aggressive plan unlike the previous opponent. And this hand really does nothing. The Prime Speaker can be a total dud if you don't draw any creatures. The Pit Fight does nothing, so we're just waiting to draw something to do something with. We have all of our colors, but that's all that this hand has.
Okay, sure. I would be inclined to keep actually. Because you have all the colors and sometimes people will become good eventually with a high ability. But it's pretty close, and since you're behind the buttons.
Well, it's,
That's not
you're as much behind the buttons as I am. I'm just not controlling the mouse, but
well, you are controlling the mouse.
yeah, if I didn't appreciate your input, you wouldn't be here. So I'll just keep this, see how it goes your way. I mean, we did most of the deck building your way as well, so I'm just inclined to follow your advice in this case.
That is pretty close.
So we'll just mulligan this and see what we can do. And if it doesn't work out, you can always blame me for it not working.
But now we get.
Yes, that's what I said. I'm going to follow you in this keeping this.
Well, sure.
Or did you?
I just myself.
But you would have liked to mulligan as well? Or?
Well, I was going to keep, but it's pretty close.
Oh, there's a first crawl order, do something. Also, he came out with Overgrown Tomb, which shows that he does have the green mana to activate his Field Oculus if he wants to. But he doesn't have any blue right now, so I'm thinking this might actually be...
Excellent, another land. If we get up to 12 mana, we can activate the Call Warrior and then play the Prime Speaker.
Might stop at 12, with 18 mana we can activate it twice.
Ooh.
And play 5.
Or 20, we can actually play Pit 5 as well.
We don't have 20 mana sources.
No, we stop at 19 now.
Yeah, we boarded in the Druid, so we get one step closer. But
He's liking blue mana?
he's liking blue mana. There's the green, so we can still cast the Prime Speaker. If we want to 136.
The classic mana blue versus mana flop game.
so far
Problem is,
nothing
once he
happened.
does draw his island, he probably has enough good cards to take over the game.
So now we can choose to either play the prime speaker now.
Well, we'll start by attacking, because he's not going to block.
He's not going to block. No, it's,
What? Okay. Is there oh yes, giant growth or something? Well, yeah.
With giant growth
we
would
can,
be
we can do
free.
about that, yeah. Sure.
The only thing you could have would be giant growth.
Okay, this was an interesting block. I did not expect that.
No, neither did I.
Okay.
But maybe he misread the Crawl Warrior, thought it was 7 miles left to
One four? One color, bro. Maybe you should have played the Frostborn and do it before combat, so you can. Well, that's fine. I was just trying to play around with the giant boat. What is he doing?
I think he's just trying to preserve his life at this point. Maybe he's even thinking that if he blocks now, I mean these cards would have been
I
cards
mean, in a sense, he is time walking us.
because we don't do anything else. But and he would have to discard these cards if he.
Well, I mean, it would have been going in the battlefield to attack and walk in there.
The question is if we really did have nothing else, then it would have been 10 damage would be before. He knows we have explosive impact, so maybe he really is trying to preserve his lifetime.
Sure. I mean, it's not a terrible play.
Also, if he tapped differently for Surge Shaman, he might actually be bluffing his smite, which he's doing right now. So this is why I'm.
Yeah, but he doesn't have smite because he didn't have it last turn, and he still needs to item.
So he doesn't have it, so he can just go in. I don't think he wants to trade this one. No, we could still pump it and play the Frostborn Weird, even with 5 damage and have another attacker on board.
I would develop my board.
So play the Mustard and probably Breaking Presses.
Yes.
I think you can actually play. No, you can't play all of them. So I've set up for these two. I think Ascended Lawmace is a really good creature. When the set was released, I was comparing it a lot against the Assault Griffin, thinking that it was basically Assault Griffin with an extra color for difficulty in casting it, but hexproof, which wouldn't be all relevant against the dex tools, still with wind rates and stuff. But the omnipresence of so many powerful aura really changed that. I think if you slap away Unflinching Courage, give the Force of Arrow, magic skills on it, becomes a real powerhouse. It makes it a lot better than it would usually do. It still does, if you can't improve it, it will still walk into a lot of wind breaks and stuff and die. So I think it's not really good, but it's just a decent card.
It's roughly on par with the Soul Cliff as well. It's nice, but more difficult to cast.
So he has Nasquad Commandos.
He didn't draw another land that turn. Not sure what we can do with the information. But okay, so we have 9 mana.
Yeah. Right now we have the option of just pumping the Crawl Warrior, letting it fight with Nasquad Commanders, and then attacking, which means that this Lawmage will trade with any of our creatures and we will deal 6 or 8 damage to him, which is an all-out for us in the pit fight. We can also just decide to play the Prime Speaker and then attack with the Drakewing, or just attack with the Drakewing and the Crawl Warrior and see how he blocks first.
I would be inclined to just attack with the Drakewing phases here. And I don't want to trade the Crawl Warrior against Nav, Squad Commando, and 6 mana at this point in the game. well, you could use your mana to develop your board nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So just the Drake in case and keep the call for your back for a point in time where you don't have spells to cast anymore, and you can actually spend the mana nicely on it. Because we might actually end up with 12 mana.
Oh, well, I think if we play Alive and Frost from Weird right now, next turn we can turn the Weird into 4/1 and get a 5/5 Prime Speaking, which is one more that we would in the current situation.
Sure, I mean, on the one hand, like 5/5 is nice against this Matchpot commando. On the other hand, if you just play the Prime Speaker for like 1 power less, then of course one Weird, and for us for that, your board seems better overall. I don't know. The first thought that comes to mind is just playing the Prime Speaker, draw 4, and then probably playing first one Weird. It's more mana efficient, and you get a bigger guy out there immediately.
And there's both War Chant and Explode from back just finished off next turn. So the only thing we can have right now is something like Supreme Verdict or Merciless Eviction to clear our board, but then we still have the Centaur from Alive and Well and Explode from back to finish him off. We did draw a second island this turn. And he is using his mana to make a big long edge.
Okay.
And he puts down the left out corner.
Okay,
This is what it I think
still I think he's dead, right? With the Cruel War Chant, of course exposed to impact on the next turn.
Because he isn't attacking. I think he still is dead.
I mean, you can Cruel War Chant and explosive impact his Nescrat commando so that he cannot block.
So that he cannot block at all.
Yeah.
We have 6 and 4. Yeah, so that works. So let's just do that.
Yay! Seven, 6, trample, lifelink, flying hexproof, not good enough.
Nope. And that was the second match of this release event. So far, I pretty much like where the deck is going. It handles well, it has a nice curve, it has some tricks at the end. And even though it doesn't look all that powerful on paper, it's
solid.
It's very solid, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So yeah. Okay, so much for this match, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, so here we are for the third match of this release event. We won yet another die roll, so we're going to play first again. And now we have this awkward hand. We have 8 green sources.
So just keep on going. I guess in some way, if you just draw any land, you can just make a 6/3 double build Maka using just our red cards on the island. It's pretty close. I'm inclined towards keeping.
Well, if in any of the first 4 draws there is a green source, and then we have 2 hill giants.
Or some kind of blue card, like if we draw Field Oculus or a blue card that we can cast, it's fine.
So we'll just keep this and see where it goes. It's like all the other hands that we've kept on mulligans. They're pretty close, and it can go either way depending on where our draws take us. But we'll be in very good shape if we find one of our green sources. If we don't, but we don't draw all of the dead green cards, but some of the active red or blue cards, then we'll be still able to tear out this game. So we're just waiting on the opponent, and there he is already. Well, it doesn't really matter where we start with the only card that it is relevant for is the wheel. We have Paralyzing Grab, which doesn't do a whole lot right now.
Yeah.
It's something we can cast.
We'd rather draw this than a green card.
speaker. We're going to need a land next turn. And then you'll see that it's again. This is the informer, which is going to commit breath, target and breath to some extent. And here we have no castable card. So we'll just pass turn.
Not much we can do.
Well, we could once again play the grasp already on the informer. Freeing up the mana next turn should we draw a land, but I don't think that the informer is a threat worthy of paralyzing grasp right now.
If we just turn it into a 2/3 wall, that's
There's no beast.
okay.
Well, it's just playing the grasp on the elf beast right now. Or otherwise we'll have to discard it. And I don't mind him not attacking with Elm Beast at this point. We could play the Neoformer as well.
That seems fine. I mean, him having an Alls Beast as a big wall is okay because we're not going to attack for a long time the way this game is progressing. And well, eventually we can just bounce it with Void Wielder after having drawn like a ton of cards with Townspeak or Zagama.
Yeah. He's attacking with it anyway to give us a huge amount of 6 damage. This has the snare spot.
Lands, please.
Technically it is lands. Just switch them. That said, he didn't play a whole lot of spells either, so he has 5 cards left.
Yeah, the most aggressive thing he could do was play a 1-power creature. It is going to make it difficult for us to block.
What farms skeleton?
So he has lethal on the board.
That means
And like the guy that taps down creatures. Yeah, we're not there today.
Yeah, the only out was if we could play the Void Wielder and return this guy or draw a card we can play next to Small Warrior, but as it is. Yeah, we can play Alive and Well and try to confuse him, thinking if we also have white in our deck, just him draw.
Sure, do that. the little confusing place. Yeah, maybe he doesn't
Realize
see it or forgets his ability.
Well, there's unfortunately no forgetting a Magic Online with him being. It's really rubbing your face into the triggered abilities. Okay, so this was a gamble we took and we lost. It happens. Coming to sideboarding, I think that this guy might actually be of some value against him. We did have the Team Former, which is a rogue.
Yes, so I would rather board him that was also in Inspiration.
And then we would do that for the Stonefire Crocodile probably once again.
Yes. Anything else? Bumble Core is
pretty useless. He already showed he had a lot of walls and Alms Beast.
X-Base Stag to trump the 6/6.
It's incredible if we can play the French speaker after the X-Base Stag.
I think that's happening. Well, Alms Beast is going to be difficult to deal with. I guess we have 42 of them. Matched up skills and the cool board chance to get past it. Yeah, I guess it should fine.
You can always hope it just doesn't happen. I think that's our best bet. There's another one of those lovely awkward hands for missing blue mana. You do have spells to cast, so
if we roll 1 land, we can already cast all our hand except 1 card. Seems good enough.
Once again, I played the wrong land on turn 1. I must have some natural inclination towards forests.
No, first one we need 2 bunches.
You're getting really lucky here.
See, this hand is also not played. I mean, in the end, if we can get a Wild Beastmaster and double scavenge it, but at the moment we start off with a useless 1/1 on turn 3 and I haven't drawn the 4th land.
Well, that's worth it to trade.
Yeah, just attack.
Yeah, if he wants to
Yeah.
trade this,
Yeah.
then we trade a 3
That's
drop
fine.
for 3 grab. And if he doesn't, we'll just play. He's so
Sure.
impressed by the Beast Master. We'll just put out the
We'll do
Mustang.
that one.
Or would you prefer the Light Novel version? I think that the Mustang could be better. If he does have removal, then at least it'll be dead and we can scavenge it.
Yeah, we didn't see any flyers
Yeah.
yet. It's not blue, so yeah, the beach seems not as important.
He also has a Mustang. So, we're just going to attack, see if he wants to trade this. If you want to do back.
I'm just trying to figure out this game we can do really. Yeah, I get it. Like you might be able to use the scavenge before weekend. But if we don't attack, we just give him the option of keeping his moss dog around or not, because he can just attack us on the next turn, and then if that would happen, we would block with our moss dog, which would give the same situation as when we just attack right now. So.
Except that he might have a trick, and I know that these 3 colors are laden with RS that are really going to mess up our day, so
Sure.
the more creatures we can trade off, the better. I mean, if he does have Affliction Courage or Gift of Force, he's obviously not going to block this, but we don't want to give him the option to enchant anything, because we'll definitely lose from these RS with this hand, unless we draw a blue source, which we don't need anyway. Bulgarian lands. Here's the blue source that we needed anyway. Now we have a couple of options, which is basically play the Crescents or play the Decoy.
Attacking probably doesn't make sense, right? It's
No,
not something we can block with.
he probably will block because he blocked all the other 2 creatures, so he's not buying a trick from our side.
Okay, just make places. You might not have the double green for the scavenge. But yeah, I don't think we're blocking him.
No, I think it's just asking for giant growth and be 2 for 1.
Maybe put the centaur in front of it and then cancel to bluff giant growth.
It's not something I normally do. And there's a beast, which is a potential problem.
Yeah, I guess this will turn into a damage race in the air. We could scavenge the moss dog and a centaur. Probably pass the turn. If he doesn't have anything, then he can attack with his long legs and he can trade against his alms beast. Alternatively, you can play the Sapphire Drake, attack with the Crazes, and then probably jump the alms beast for a turn, and then try to raise with 7 points of power in the air while playing Paralyzing Guard for the alms beast on the next turn, maybe with long legs.
I think that's actually a bit more viable. Leave us open if he has removed a centaur, we can even opt to trade Sapphire Drake for the long legs and then play the Paralyzing Guard for the alms beast, clearing both of his patterns.
Yeah, that
Just
works.
allowing the Crisis to attack him with.
Seems fine.
So I'll just attack him first with Crisis.
Yep.
And then play the Drake and see what happens. This is a 2-turn clock, so if we just block the alms beast, we'll go to 13.
Actually, if you don't block, and then
There's 1000 flashes on our break.
I was just thinking about the interaction between the Christian Mosdog scavenge on our centaur, which we get flying, but at the moment it doesn't really matter. I
think we still need to just block this.
Yeah, I think you need to block indeed for the 9-point price one. Yeah.
We go to 13, so still have some time. If we draw land, we can play the decoy and the grasp,
Yeah.
which we do.
Yeah, some fun. Question is, what do you grasp?
I think we should grasp the Alms Beast. If we grasp the long legs and he has removal, then the Alms Beast will deal us extra damage. If he does have removal, we can block with the decoy. If we don't draw a creature, it wouldn't have mattered because the Alms Beast will gain on the damage the next turn. So I think it's about even which one we take. It pretty much depends on the 3 cards that he has left. That said, we are lethal in 2 turns if we can't stop the break.
I think actually lost the long legs because you will play you will jump the Alms Beast, thereby go up to 14 from the lifelink, then down to 9, then to 8 in the upkeep.
Down to 9?
The
long legs won't be attacking if we craft it.
Yeah, so the yeah, basically what I was mostly thinking about is if you beef up the Crazes with catching Mosdog on the next turn, and then with the Bulgari decoy on the turn thereafter, it's exactly 14.
Yeah.
So you need to survive 2 turns, and in the meantime block with the Bulgari decoy at some point. And then you would prefer to yeah, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
It's pretty late. Depends on the next draft. If it's a creature, it
Yeah,
would be
you-
better to have the Alms Beast incoming.
The one play that is not possible is making the decoy casting something, taking the damage from his attacker, and then beefing up the decoy to like eat a blocker, because then you would just die to his attacks and your 1000 flashes.
Yeah.
So could it matter in some way? Not sure. Just do something.
Yeah, I'll just I'll play the decoy. I don't think it matters all that much, but I'm going to grasp the Alms Beast because there is a slight chance that our next draw can actually kill the long legs.
Sure.
And if he has a removal or something, then we're already dependent on the next draw to stay in this game.
If he has removal, he's probably not winning.
I'll just try this one of the long legs.
Ready?
Yeah. I don't think that it's going to prevent more damage
Well,
in the another turn.
Actually, it not matter a lot. Actually, it does.
If we had kept it, we would have gone down to 4 right now, and we could have died to a combat trick. So like Giant Growth would just put us on 1, we wouldn't have any outs.
Yes, but now we are just dead on board. If we attack with the cases and strength.
Or we can still, if we scavenge one of those, we still have a blocker to face the long legs. So we're not dead yet.
We're pretty close to death. I guess you maybe establish the decoy or the moose dog.
If he is the decoy, then he can sacrifice the Alms Beast and any creature he plays next turn to save his normal X. So I think it's better to just use Special Moss Dog and have him sacrifice 3 creatures to save his normal X. Also, if we scavenge the Moss Dog, we can choose to block the Maw, and then he has to sacrifice something to keep his Maw alive. So we can force him to sacrifice a creature if he would want it for any reason.
Sure, well, you will definitely sacrifice all the pieces anyway.
Just keep first open to block it technically. And he has to pick 5.
And
Then in the end it didn't really matter. If he had to pit fight all along, then
yeah, there were downsides to not immediately blocking as well. I guess it, well, knowing that he has more of the opposite.
yeah. So we lost this match, and it was in part because of the Dutch mana base, and that was basically all of it. We lost the first game to mana, and the second game we just had a lot better cards than we did. The Alms Beast was amazing against us. We don't have any removal to handle such a creature, except then for the Paralyzing Grasp, but that still left us with all the other problems we had, like the very long legs. He had a Moss Dog in his graveyard to make one of his creatures even bigger. So this match wasn't the best for us, I think. But we still have one more to go, so we'll see how the game goes in the last one. So welcome back to the last match of this release event. We lost the die roll for a change, but we do have all of our colors. So this looks like a pretty fun hand to keep.
And well, Beastmaster plus madcap skills. This cannot go wrong anymore. Perfect.
That was a fun speaker to go with madcap skills.
Oh, value. Excellent.
He's not having a very aggressive start. There's a point mill there. Here's the first play in Bane Alley Broken.
Yeah, that's bad.
Sort of just play the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Or would you want the Grasp Broken?
No, there's no point in doing that already. I mean, I guess you could do it, and then if you go land on the next turn, you can play the Rubble Belt marker. Yeah, even if it is likely that we want to pairwise involve with being a broker, because it is a pretty good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a chance he plays better for the pairwise involved. As well, get some damage in with the World Beast Master. It's not very damage. He also only has 2 colors out at the moment. I wouldn't want to go all in with madcap skills here. It's too likely he has some kind of removal. But I think it's first save the attack.
Yeah, I don't think there's flash creature in this color combination.
He might just be missing a color here, or has a handful of expensive cards, or maybe removal if he wants to save, or maybe counter spell. But either way, it's not very well.
Yeah. If he is sitting on removal or something like that, he won't be able to stop this, and his broker will stop digging for his third color. It's not like we have any other place to make at this point, since we will watch the macro filter. There's another island.
Yeah, so it's likely that we just hold in mana, and I just attack him by the good one.
Yeah, there still isn't a creature that he can play. You have 6 mana with a 3/4 Rake and 4/2 Merfolk. And there's Shamble Shark, but I think that's all fresh creatures in this. But there's Hussar Patrol as well. But those are all too colorful for this demon mana race. Now he has the 6 mana.
Yeah, but if he has the 3/4 flyer, we can just play it for double build Maka. He's probably not playing this 4/2 flash, it's just a bad card, so just attack.
I'll just attack him. Even if he does show us the 4/2, then he's probably not having that much of a. He probably does have a high card quality. Yeah. So we'll play the Mustang after, I suppose.
Yes.
If he taps out for something, I think we can lethal him, but
Lethal? With like Madcap skills
Madcap skills and a real belt marker. This is 17 damage. So this is lethal if we want to go all in, but I think there's no need to do any of that.
There's no point.
So I'll just attack with these two and make the Centaur have to come back.
We didn't play a land in the last turn, so I'm getting really curious what he has on hand right now. I mean, it might be like a ton of like non-blue and non-black cards. It might also be sitting on something like a white-black 6 mana swipe the board card. I'm not sure if there's going on, or
he at least had some play now.
Yeah, probably to do that one this turn, because if he had it last turn, seems like he would have used it on him also.
Yeah. There's a Windrake.
So you probably do that one as well this turn. So it seems likely that he's just stuck with 5 non-blue non-black cards, or maybe 7 drop or something.
I think we should just play the War 23.
Yes. And at this point I would even be inclined to just use the Blood Rush of the double build Maka. Because it's quite likely he doesn't have anything.
He has a spell.
Okay, that's a card he could have. Sure, okay.
You can still attack with both use the Maka on this one. And he'll get 4 damage from Beastmaster and he'll probably chump him off now. Because it'll be 7 power. And it'll be in range for explosive impact. You can also attack with just the Moscow next turn, have the Madcap skills in the Maka and finish him off with that.
I do like attacking with both and using the Maka with Beastmaster with the stack. Kind of forces his hand. No, you ability goes in the stack, right?
Yeah, and there's also, I was checking if there was a stack, but there are 2 blocks, so there's a stack. Exactly. Look for a moment.
I mean, either he has to jump with his wind blade now, and either way take a ton of damage, or take everything and just dead to that explosive impact.
Besides, he wants to take the stuff. We'll go to 8. It's still not enough life for him to have a pretty good outlook for this hand. We still avoid wheel to
given at least, we would likely to be call screwed.
The real question is which color is it? If we can just attack, not be lethal, but that will be a problem. Maybe we should actually play it a bit slower, give him some time to draw us for color, so we at least know what we're up against.
Yeah, well, I don't think that matters too much.
Or we could play the Madcap skills and try to finish him this turn, but I don't see any reason to.
Like, his 4 of his cards are pretty surely like non-blue, non-black cards. The other one, we're not sure. It could be an island or a swamp that he's just not playing. But it could also be some kind of bounce or removal spell that he used to do this turn. So I would rather just attack with both and play like a gatekeeper than win out the Madcap skills this turn.
Did draw something far and away. That's a pretty good first draw.
It is. Yeah,
I
not
think
much
he's
we can
doing
do
it the
about it.
wrong way around. I think I would have left I'll split the Beastmaster.
Right. It depends on his hand.
There's red as his first color. And we're getting... so the obviously depends on his
So he
hand.
probably has 4 death cards in his hand right now. Or another like crazy card of Spell Rupture that he isn't been able to use him.
He has a couple of those.
That's the best he can do. I guess it stays with him as well. Yeah, but it indicates his hand is not all that stuff.
You can play the Void Wielder, bounce it, and put him on 5 with the must have. And wait for the impact.
Seems fine. Or you play the net cap skills. But I think I like the Void Wielder. It's a bit better.
It's another creature from the board, and should he still have a 3-mana rule spell to slow rolling for whatever reason, then we lose all the board we have. And right now we keep on eating 2 creatures out.
So he's down to 5, which means he's dead to explosive impact if we do draw a land.
And if we don't draw a land, it means we'll be drawing spells we can cast these turns, so this game is looking pretty good. Just a couple good again. Another card, which is
What?
Sinister Possession.
That's like blocks. This card seems horrendous.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, you probably would have been better off if you had just played this for land instead.
Yeah.
Oh well. You just smacked the net cap skills on the scroll.
The Mustard? Probably
Yeah,
aren't.
and then attack and kill him.
There aren't a lot of cards that can deal with the Mustard with this mana combination.
If they do, then you also lose a Sinister Possession.
Actually, we also have Sinister Possession.
Yeah.
Anything we can board in? Well, we have the Vessel Soul, which we can trade the Alligator. Although I think the Alligator might be fine against him, because I don't think his deck is filled with 3 power creatures. And having a 3 power creature might
Yeah, we didn't even see that many cards.
No, we saw the Banally Broker, Windrake, and Hufflepuff.
You might want to board out the Alighten well, because that's far away, you don't want creature tokens against that. You can see his votes.
Yes, Banally Broker.
Oh right, that's a vote. Oh yeah, then it was also a little bit better than his actual vote. Okay.
And even so, you seem to be playing a lot of blue and black, so he's bound to have some random rogues flying around.
Yeah.
And there are a lot more rogues in the format as well. I mean, stuff like Devon Swindler is also a rogue. So we're now no longer limited to the 5 rogues that were present in Gate Crash.
Sure.
Something. So he gets to choose again. I'll probably want to play first again, like he did last game. And we get this hand, which I think is not bad.
No, it's a keep. I mean, it's one of those hands that can go wrong if you don't draw the 3rd land in time. But if you do, we have lands, we have spells, we have the night mana. Looks fine. And the awkward combination of Gruul War Chant and Blueberry Decoy. How does it even work? Like if he has 2 blockers and you attack with it, is he forced to block or?
Yeah, I think that as long as he has 2 or more creatures, all of them have to block have to block the decoy.
Yeah.
But if he has only 1, then he can't block the decoy, so it won't have to block.
Yeah. Well, works fine.
It works pretty fine. Yeah. Here he is. There's another one of his rogues. And let's not this one. At least he has all of his colors now.
first turn. Well, attack first, obviously.
Attack first and make first.
So yeah, the game can go either way. Depends on what he has in hand.
Yeah. If he has.
It's already a bit awkward for him that he has a ton of creatures with activated abilities out, and only one island. But yeah, basically he won't be able to really make the best out of the activated abilities of all his creatures, but he will be able to use all of his mana basically every turn.
Here's Madcap skills. This gives us a few options.
Indeed.
And we can go very aggressive with either the War Chant or the Madcap skills. We can also go a bit defensive with the Gatekeepers. And we can go the midway with the Decoy and attacking or not with the Oculus. We can't do two things in one turn unless we
The
Madcap skill can activate the Oculus.
the two best lines that I see are either playing Madcap skills on the Oculus, pumping, attacking, trying to race with it, and then hopefully it survives and draw a bunch of cards of Prime Speaker Zagana. The other line is likely like to attack with Oculus, not pump, and play probably the Gatekeeper, which will allow you to block the Simic Flux Mage. Alternatively, you can also play the Gudari Decoy, in which case he will likely attack with his creatures, and then on the next turn he will play like the Cruel War Chant. Decoy attacks, he will tap his Bane Alley Broker and just take a ton of damage, and we'll get into a damage race. But then I would
I think we should just.
rather just have to Opal like Gatekeeper, I think.
I think we should just hold back. We have probably more late game than he has with his hand, so we have time to develop our board to get up to the Prime Speaker and then finish him off with that. He
Yep.
isn't putting a whole lot of pressure on us, and I don't want to go all in on just to fill the Oculus because
Yep.
we've already seen Far and Away, and he might have other removal spells that.
Okay, so attack and Gatekeeper?
Yeah,
Okay, so
that
fine.
would have been nice.
Then you keep, I guess, Simic Guildgate up to bluff Giant Growth and something else?
Yeah.
Like what are the 1 mana cards that are relevant to bluff in these colors?
There's Dispel,
Mm-hmm.
which we could bluff for the extra trophies, and Giant Growth or Burst of Strength as the
Right,
tricks.
yeah.
The problem is more that having a red mana up to bluff a red removal spell like Electricity really doesn't do much, because the cases where you would want to trigger with Electricity, you could just outright cast it and have it be just as good. So bluffing Electricity right now means that we would make this obvious non-bow of an attack. But he will also won't do it if he thinks we have Giant Growth or Burst of Strength itself. And actually just attacking like this and then having this Electricity might be a good deal for him.
Sure. I think actually, yes. Had Electricity, he probably would have boarded it out, given what we saw in the previous game.
Although I am very fond of the card in this format.
It's okay.
I like it more than I did in Triple as well. Well, he played Vision Racketeer and he opted not to discard a card here. So he probably has 2 cards that he wants to use. Here we got the very fine Stone Crocodile.
Different definition of fine.
Now that's a free attack with our Oculus if we wanted to. We could also put the Madcap skills on one of these two and play the Crocodile. What to place this turn?
Indeed, you can play them cap skills on the Opal Lake Gatekeepers. Swing with both creatures. And then place the crocodile, which
You can.
then the crocodile could block the Simic Fraction Age if he doesn't evolve it. Otherwise,
Well, if we put the skills on the gatekeeper, he can trade it for his two creatures for 2, which is in our advantage, but it's not going to take into account. If you put the skills on the Oculus, he can't kill it this turn. So it'll probably be guaranteed 4 damage, and we still have the gatekeepers and the crocodile to block.
he's not going to double block in this situation. Our madcap skills guy, when you have 3 mana up, even if he does, it's a fine trade. Alternatively, just put the madcap skills on the Oculus, just attack with the Oculus and keep back the gatekeepers. It might work better in the damage race. Yeah, I guess that might be best.
You just slap the skills on the Oculus, play the crocodile after.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to play these 2 cards this turn and not any of the 4 mana spells. To be able to use your mana effectively.
It does mean that if we draw land, we can play 1 for 4 mana spells and still pump the Oculus next turn. Or even just play the Prime Speaker with it for power creature, which is also good enough. If we get to resolve either the War Chant or an attack set with Equay, we're probably going to win that turn. So it seems fine to just develop, try to race a bit. The only person we should debate for right now are things like Far and Away, which can still need for awkward situations. So far well, I'm wondering what these 2 cards are, because he didn't want to discard one direct here for a new one. So I'm guessing the card he drew is the one he doesn't mind putting on the Bane on the broker. Or is he... He's using the ability to draw a card, right? Yeah, draw a card and it's 1 card from the end. So he did that already.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised he does that, because if he just has 2 really good cards in his hand, you don't really need the Bane Alley Broker, and you'd rather just keep it back to block, say the Opal Lake Gatekeepers, if it comes to that. What might be happening is he has 2 excellent 6 mana cards, tried to find a land but didn't or something. He passes, I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
So maybe he just has the two fine cards. The 3rd card he drew wasn't what he wanted, so he traded it in. And maybe his spells are not per se 6 mana spells, but just removal spells that he didn't have the target for, which means that he's going to try and trick us out of this attack step. So I think we should just attack with Phil Douglas and see what he has.
Yeah, seems fine.
And then
you could play the Ghoul War Chant before.
then we can pump it, so he probably will double block it. And we can both the Oculus and the Matrix skills.
Yeah, which would actually be a fine trade in a way, because we have a ton of damage in the process, but I get the feeling something strange is up. Maybe he has the counter spell or something.
He's trying to protect his counter spell.
Yeah, well, if he has either Syncopate or the 2 mana counter, you would very much rather play Frostborn Weird this turn. In fact, you should probably play Frostborn Weird before attacking, and then attack and have mana open to pump.
Yeah. Also, I don't think if we do play Blue War Chant, I don't think it's a fine trade to trade our Oculus for his Flash Missiles right here, because these creatures are just
I mean, you
stupid.
would also attack with the other guys and work on the damage in the process.
Yeah, okay, that would be a good deal. I was thinking of still holding them back. He's putting both in, which is basically asking us to pump it so you can use this trick.
Yeah, sure, to do it.
And I think that's fine. I want to trade the Oculus for the trick if we have it. Fatal Fumes. That's awkward because I put this creature first, so now he won't even kill direct here.
Okay, well that's probably a bad play.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of him having Fatal Fumes. So
Yeah, that's definitely a misplay there.
Yeah. I was actually thinking more like he had Prison Spectacle or the Foreign Wave you already saw.
Yeah,
So it was
but
just
if he has that, then it doesn't matter the way you order it. It only
No.
matters if he has like a
then
plus or minus toughness card.
it
which
was
is,
I was
really-
thinking he was only blocking to instigate us to invest the mana and waste the rest of our turn instead of playing like another creature like Electric Speaker or Crawl Warrior.
Yeah, I should have also paid attention there.
But we're still not in bad shape. I mean, it's a shame to trade it for just Fatal Fumes, but his board is still filled with awkward creatures. And if Fatal Fumes is one of the cards he really wanted to keep and not discard to his wreck here, then I don't think the other card is of the quality that we're thinking it might be. And we still have a lot of potential going here. We only have to make sure not to run into Syncopate or Spellburst.
But yeah, that's also why we play the release events to get accustomed to the format. Because I'm also learning the cards, thinking about Fatal Fields. Next time I am in a situation like this, it will certainly be month.
So now there's Mortis Strider. He's
So,
stepping in a way so he can't activate the Sprite. But he's still activating the Sprite. So he might have Weapon Surge.
what does he do? To the +1/+0 first strike?
Yeah, but he can't overlay it. He does give us the opportunity to play one of these cards without him countering. So we could now play the War Chant and attack with everything. It does leave us open to his counter attack, which, because this isn't lethal, it will be 3 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. And he does have 6 plus explosive impact, perhaps for 11 in backspin, so might not be with move bombs. You could also just play the decoy.
Wait, what did he do last turn exactly? He played the Mortis Spider and what else? Did he do?
He fetched the Mortal Strider from the Vanity Broker, or at least he fetched the card from the Vanity Broker.
Wait, how did he?
With the last ability. Yeah.
Ah, wait, but then he just didn't have the third clue available to actually activate the Metropolis Sprite. So this doesn't signify the red spell at all.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, in that case, I think I would just slam the Blue War Chant, keep mana up to comfort 1 week and attack with everything.
Attack with everything because it isn't lethal, and he does have 6 back and with a plus impact. Or even with if he does have the weapon surge, it's lethal on the backspin. It's actually 7. What's here?
You can keep back the firstborn weird or the firstborn weird to block one of his guys if you want. On the other hand, if you attack with everything now, I'm not too scared about explosive impact. If you attack with everything now, it will make his
basically it deals a ton of damage over the course of 2 turns, whereas if you only attack with 2 creatures, it's not really enough. On the other hand, next turn you have Golgari Decoy, so maybe you want to survive in the next turn. It's pretty close. Yeah, I guess just the Gatekeepers in the Crocodile. Yeah, okay.
I was just wondering because Squirrel Watchman doesn't seem to be trade ability. It's just creatures that keep attacking, and it's that. So it really does work with all kinds of other combat tricks, and it's not a trade ability to respond to. It does make it a lot better. I mean, if you get like tokens from like Hero Blade Hold, they enter the battlefield attacking, and they still will get the bonus from Squirrel Watchman. Well, they wouldn't get because it's pretty big. Probably going to trade off.
I'm not sure why he blocks the Mortar Strata as well, but
He needs to block the two
oh,
creatures. So I'll
obviously.
just keep the blockers in this order.
Yes.
Let's try the back this time. I'll just play Triple. Okay, so he doesn't have a massive blowout card to win the race back. So this is a good development for us. Now we can just next turn attack, play the Prime Speaker, or the Decoy, whatever you want. Blocking will be difficult for him because these two creatures will kill these two when they block. He could have kept open a Banally Broker to throw in his initial blocking. But maybe he really needs his extra cards.
Yeah, I mean the way it turned out, we obviously would have preferred to attack with the Frostborn Weird as well. Sure.
He's giving it 3 damage?
Not exactly sure what he's hoping to accomplish here.
We might go 2 for 1 here.
Yeah, also fine.
Or we're not going to block this out.
No. Nice massive rate. Okay.
The Mortis Destroyer won't be able to block. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, so it's not.
You don't want it to die. You don't want to die in the back room.
We could just attack with Gatekeeper, deal 3 and play the
Well,
Prime
there
Speaker.
are a couple of options. You could attack with boats, then play the Decoy, and then try to win with that. I prefer just playing the Prime Speaker. And do we have any 1-drops in our deck?
No.
Okay, then it doesn't matter. Okay, just attack with just the Gatekeeper, I guess. The 3 and play Prime Speaker for all 3. Nice try.
So now we just these aren't really punching cards, just more features. Why is our Prime Speaker so small? It's 2 plus 1 counters, which should have 3.
No, the creature only gets the plus during combat, strangely enough.
But we did draw 3 cards. Oh, because it's
Yeah,
3
yeah.
at the time, yeah. That's huge. But
Actually,
it's
why didn't we attack with the Frostborn Weird in the last turn?
like to deal 3 extra damage.
Yes.
You want to hold it back to knock down the backswing.
Yeah, the Prime Speaker could also block. I mean, I did say keep the Frostborn Weird back, and now we can use the jump, which is fine, but it wouldn't actually make a lot of sense thinking of it. Oh well,
No,
just
actually,
jump.
if we did have removal, he would have a lot of damage for us.
Well,
Conventional.
not enough.
No, but we wouldn't be able to kill him next turn, so we would be in danger of dying from the Fluffy Sprite. Are we going to jump with the French speaker or the Fluffy? Since it's only 3-3.
Well, the thing is, if you we just have to figure out what we're doing in the next one. Like the prime speaker would trade against the Rectier and the Meertens Rider, whereas the problem weird would not. The next turn we're going to have to play a jumper for his big guy and some other dude. So we will only have 0 mana up for the one weird. I'm guessing we're playing the Bulgari Decoy and catching Mosdog in the next turn. And given that, I think it's just better to jump at the prime speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, also you force him to block this way if you attack portraits.
Paralyzing Gas, which might be actually better than playing multiple creatures.
Yeah, but it at first with boats.
That way we will have to block or he'll die too. Then does it have to be lethal?
Yes.
No. Yeah, sorry. So he has to block. None of these two will die, so you just lose. These 12 creatures. So they just press the Minotaur.
Both die. And then yeah, you go after the Minotaur and play.
Or we can play decoy, so
Yeah.
we'll certainly lethal next turn. But I think we will be lethal anyway. Having 3 attackers, and he will not be able to play all that many blockers, I think.
Oh, I don't know, I think it's like the Night Wing or some broken maker, you'd rather have the decoy. Which had the whole gatekeeper and everything do it, both come through on board. Oh well, I actually should play them also this week.
That's not block the sprite.
Yes.
But then, if he attacks with the sprite, he has one less blocker.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe some trick or maybe publishing back, something like that. You can do it.
Yes, it's very well. We're going to win now because of this. Memorial. We get the prime speaker, which is 7/7, so he gets to draw a hell of a lot of cards. And he's put it out to the decoy.
Okay, I guess the decoy was correct after all, or something. I'm not sure who actually was the correct play, but it worked out against that particular card.
Yeah. You could still have a mugging and mug the Bulgari decoy. But if he doesn't, it's and we should be glad because we only have 4 minutes, so next game won't be start with us. So we'll just go on.
Oh, so there another game to play?
No, if we win this one we don't. If this attack fails, then we're going to have to play third game. That's only one. It's also not allowed.
All the illegal blocking in the red fonts in the text box. I like it. Illegal. Illegal!
That's illegal.
This is already 5, so we don't even have to pump.
No?
Which is the first blocker?
Ding!
So, so much for this release event. I hope you enjoyed hearing Frank and me talk about playing games and Magic. And be sure to check the website for more videos from me. Next week I'll probably be doing the draft I promised you last week. So I hope it was a good fit for you. So see you next time.